Oh, ooh, ah. Hello. I was typing. You're muted.
I was enjoying the typing sounds. Got some ASMR going on. Ooh.
That's not true. How could that be true?
How can that be true?
What was actually happening? Were you just trying to find out where the unmute was?
I saw where it was, but my Diet Coke can was on the
Oh, okay. Well, I like that better. You could have just said that. That would have been fine.
I like both, but both are true. Two things can be true at once.
But
I like hearing you type. There's two things that have only given me like the ASMR tingly feeling. And
there's only two things. So just to be clear here, you, a millennial, have two things that give you, because it's always
three things. I misspoke. It's always three things.
You know, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. And what are those things? If you know, if you can say.
I bet one person did, and they're just turning in their grave. Expected it, and they were like,
It's gonna be one of those. It's kind of. It's okay. It's okay. By the way, this is the new thing we do, which is a pre-flight. That's actually the show.
I figured.
Do you like it? I kind of like it.
I do.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
And I apologize in advance that this is going to be an experiment in terror, because to use Fachal Corey's favorite word, as a middle-aged man, I'm very audacious. So I did something with audacity. I did not juice my audacity this morning. Title. And here's what I did. You know, they say a little learning is a dangerous thing, and I think if that ends up being true, it won't be because I learned it, but because I demonstrated it. And you see, it's one thing to live it, and another thing to pretend you understand it. And I haven't done either, I think. So that's the problem. And so, you know what I did? I turned up the gain on my USB Pre 2 by Sound Devices. I turned it up just now, and I can already tell it sounds better. But excuse me.
How?
For those of you who aren't able to
Cox?
hear,
God damn it, he's not home.
Alex has some devices going off right now.
I did. It wasn't my device, but yes, you've turned.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had some devices going off. That was very difficult to understand. I connected to John Roderick the other day, and he was talking through his computer microphone. And I said, John, I think you might be on the wrong microphone. And you know what he said to me? He said one word. He said, me? And there was something so encompassingly funny about the way he said it. Because on the one hand, it was obviously, to me anyway, I think he unintentionally said something silly, which is like, of course it's you. There's no other person on this call, right? But then it also has an element of Arrested Development to it, don't you think?
Oh, yes.
The person who just has never plugged in their computer into Ethernet. You wonder why I do all the recording on my side? You probably don't, but I have my reasons.
Me?
Me? I do that? I do that? So I wanted to pre-admit to audaciousness, and I hope that it turns out okay. And I have a thing in my thing to work on this when we're done recording today, so that then I can hear you and you can hear me. And I also just want to say I'm kind of excited about this new thing we're doing. I used to want to keep the late delay music as no more than once every 6 to 8 weeks to keep it special.
But now
this is a new music. Talk about this. You know what it is? It's a new era.
Yes.
Is this officially it? Have we officially arrived? Is this the new era?
I thought that 2 weeks ago was the new era.
Well, the thing is, if you don't put up a banner, how do you know it's an era? Like, we need to celebrate this. Maybe we need a little song here.
You know. This is Due by Friday. Weekly Challenge podcast with Alex Cox and Merlin Man. This week's challenge: watch Marty Supreme.
Oh, you're funny, Alex. You're fun to do a thing with.
Funny how? Funny like
audacious.
I'm not funny, Merlin. Not like
audacious. Like you woke up and you found a what do they call an aubergine? You found a little orange on your nightstand and in all caps written on it was the word audacity.
What?
Do you remember this? Do you remember this from Taskmaster?
No.
There's so many great running bits with Fatcha, and one of them is that Greg is going to marry her, and that I'm a very sexual person. Mm-hmm. But another one is that I think it's from her stand-up, but she has this ongoing, very funny and, of course, incredibly true bit about men and their audaciousness. Mm-hmm. And I can't say it like her, audacity. And so she keeps talking about how middle-aged men in particular are audacious. So for one prize task, she brings in an orange with the word audacity on it and says that's her gift for the Taskmaster. And he can keep that on his nightstand, and every morning he can wake up and juice all the audacity out of that orange so he doesn't put it on other people. Alex, is that the most your shit thing you've heard today?
Yes.
I know it's my shit, but that sure sounds like your shit. Haven't you had it with the? Oh, sorry, Jesus Christ. Sorry. I wasn't yelling at you. I was yelling at, I guess, my USB pre too. Sorry. Isn't that your shit though? Yes. Guys, you need to be so much less confident about what you're doing. You all deserve so much less confidence than you have. And I love Dunning-Kruger. Yeah, I know. Read a book. But I'm talking about something more basic about men that precedes the era where we had a funny name for everything, which is that men never have to think about what their audaciousness means to other people. Sorry, I blew the whole pre-show, but I just wanted to say.
You really blew the whole challenge because what? I have so much to say
Can you believe
about
his
Marty's
skin, the way they did his skin, how subtle that was? This movie, Jesus fucking Christ, was I not ready for this?
Nor was I.
That movie was a goddamn. I put it up there with One Battle After Another. They could, in some ways in my head. Sorry, challenge. No, not yet. But anyways, we'll talk about it in a minute. And we owe the listeners an explanation, if not an outright apology, which is that if you are one of the people who listen to the after show, thank you. That means you support our program through giveusyourfuckingmoney.com. Thank you very much. We do a second show every week and put it out. And I edit it, quote unquote. And I helped. And the challenge last week was that I wanted Alex to watch a movie that I liked a lot from when Alex was a toddler called Orlando.
Which I did watch. And Orlando. It's very good.
Oh, wait, you did watch it?
For free, yes.
Okay, yeah. But just get my back. Oh, awesome. Do mini challenge. Get my back, though, on the first time she looks at the camera. And then the second time, you're like, oh, she's going to be looking at the camera. Isn't that? I'll change it from a question.
That's my shit.
From a question to a comment, like that. I imprinted on that image. That to me is an original GIF from 1992 in my head. Is Tilda Swinton in her probably mid to late 20s? I don't know. Turning and looking at the camera with those big eyes you've never seen. Those beautiful alien eyes.
And
Quentin Crisp. You got to see Quentin. Now you know who Quentin Crisp is.
Yes. Oh boy.
Isn't Quentin Crisp memorable? You see now why I put Quentin Crisp kind of up there with Truman Capote in terms of this is a lifestyle. Gore Vidal is Burt Reynolds compared to these guys. Am I right?
That is a.
Hi.
I can't.
Hi. I'm David Remnick. I have some New Yorker jokes that are prepared for me. In my new collection called Unnecessary Diaresis, title, because I can make that funny and I can actually make a diacritical in the repeated letters. Write that down, title. So everyone in the show. I've been sleeping better. It's a problem.
Oh, dear. I think it's because you have maybe followed too many of your tips and tricks and you've become more productive.
I do that.
Yeah, you do that because you still
You're not
have been
expected
doing
to eat the whole buffet. Write that down.
Lot of stuff with computers right now, but
I'm always writing down new wisdom. I got wisdom. I don't know where it even goes yet. I have running things, especially if I've have my go to sleep medicine and I'm watching television. Things will occur to me, and I keep that under a tag. I wrote this down last night.
Do you have a TV tag for TV feelings?
No, I don't. I don't, but I should. But that does very much go under what I've told you. I should, it's so neat now that I can just give you markdown files instead of pointing at nothing. I did this yesterday with Syracuse, where I was like, I just wanted to tell him what I'd been working on. And I was like, please, Syracusa, please summarize this for him with, make a short summary and 5 short bullets. Boom, MD, drag. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah,
You're
I write
talking
things
about
down.
You're falling asleep, having wisdom.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about triangulation.
Yes.
It is getting gutted. All of my best stuff is getting gutted by this thing's insistence that it can't remember things. But I haven't given completely up. I was watching this.
You know what? Have you tried the bot? Have you tried OpenClaw?
No. Is it one of those things where you get skills and stuff? I'm really worried about people using those. That stuff scares me. I mean, I know I'm already. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, no. But I'm definitely on the edge. But that shit is like a lot of that seems bananas and a real attack vector for people who are just here for the novelty of it.
Yes, and so that is how I felt about Claude Code for the longest time until a friend sat me down and was like, no.
Did they demand a 1 hour and 15-minute call where they described every single thing they've ever made with it?
No, I denied that call because I'm like, no.
I have to get this number. What am I looking at? What am I looking at here? I say that all the time to Claude. What am I looking at here? Merlin, what am I looking at here?
I'm very excited that everyone has their dashboards. Like, I miss Panic's app as well. It was...
If anybody actually looked at what my dashboard did, because it's a functional dashboard, it got
me grumpy because I
mean, like I can links directly to each Plex. Like if I want to go look at it myself, it's come up with a way to weight when and how the version I own on Apple TV, which I have 500 movies of, or the ones in my personal collection, which one's better to keep. And it came up with its own criteria. Yeah, that dashboards is the shit, because I think that's where the brain of a curious computer person goes, ooh, I've had ideas for crazy stuff and no idea how to make it. Maybe I could sit in a lawn chair and point for 3 hours and solve something that would have cost me hundreds of dollars a month last week.
It was, I used it to use we're talking about Claude Code. I used Claude Code and made $200. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to have 100. I was like, yes, okay, I think it is 100. I'm going to do the max thing.
You're like a very low level drug dealer.
Right?
Where you're like somebody on the wire where they pay you in the drugs that you sell. Oh no. Are you down over by the low rises? Do you work from?
Oh,
do you know about? Watch out for Marlowe.
Jesus fucking Christ! I don't know.
Omar coming.
Well, my
Omar coming. He's coming to take your tokens.
I should do a little thing about how good, I was joking with in a super secret text channel earlier about how much fun I'm having indexing all of my crap from high school and college.
Oh yeah. Where you're bringing together, like, also, it sounds like you're like trying to bring together, like, it's the dream. This is kind of the live streams idea, but live streams from a whole different time. Where you're like, in my case, I call these mystery memories, where you're like, I'm pretty sure there's a thing that existed. And I'm pretty sure there must be. For me, that means I look at like shitty newspaper sites for 6 hours trying to find the name of a coach or something. You know what I mean? But you're doing that with your personal stuff, and like, is it DV videos? What are the videos?
Oh no, they're actually, a lot of them came from here. Listen to this. Do you know what that sound is? I bet you don't, but it is a sound. I do. That
was the sound of a Kodak disposable camera.
No, but
was it a Kodak Instamatic camera?
No, it is the sound of a flip video.
Oh, and was it the USB coming out?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a satisfying sound. Wow. Okay. Well, I think sometimes sounds rhyme. And I don't mean in the way that not in the Stephen Sondheim sense, but that rhymed to me with the sound of used to great effect in Shaun of the Dead. Remember when the zombies in the yard and there's that great shot and he goes shuck, shuck, shuck to forward that's what it sounded like to me. Tony Zhao has a very good video about that called How Edgar Wright Does Comedy, or something like visual comedy.
Sidebar. Wake Up.
This is a good episode. This is a pretty good episode, huh?
It's I mean, maybe
Oh,
the eighth worst. It's a bit. No, it's a bit. I
okay.
just
You say untrue things, and it's funny.
no.
Did you know that all jokes are lies, as is magic and love?
Wait,
Go ahead.
wait. Is this like all magic tricks that are assault? I don't know.
Is it trap?
I really like Edgar Wright's stuff, and sometimes it's not that I'm like I need to separate from the artist, but I do really enjoy when it feels like someone just exudes
Oh yeah.
the way they make something. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah, especially there's somebody else we were mentioning. I was talking about recently, similar to that, but like not Wes Anderson, but somebody like that, where you're like, first of all, like as with say the Smiths, I get why this is not everybody's thing, but when you see somebody who like so obviously loves genre movies, I guess another one, Jordan Peele, in some ways, and somebody else that I'm definitely forgetting right now, but Edgar Wright's familiarity and love of genre is not only deep, but very nicely integrated in a way where like you don't need to know that the guy who does Neighborhood Watch was on a TV show called The Equalizer, but it might help you to know that he was in a movie called The Wicker Man, that he was the star of the most famous English folk horror movie ever made. And guess what? Hot Fuzz is special for lots of reasons. It's kind of 3 different extreme genre movies in one. It's like a buddy cop film, and it's a parody of buddy cop films. But it's hugely, the whole stuff with the model village, that all comes straight out of the same thing that influenced Midsommar. It's all out of like folk horror, or like something like The Witch, that wonderful Anya Taylor-Joy movie. Anyways.
Oh, I don't like that movie.
Isn't that good though? Isn't
Ralph
Ineson good in that as the father?
Well, it's the reason I don't like Midsommar in that I'm like,
that movie's so upsetting. I kept waiting for something sad. I kept waiting for like a Babadook moment of like, okay, now I have something to be upset about. And like, but you don't really get the payoff of what's obviously like extremely bad in that community. Florence Pugh doesn't drink water. I learned that on Off Menu.
Wait, Florence Pugh
doesn't drink water.
And this is not the woman who
that's Midsommar.
Worms.
That's Midsommar.
No,
that's you're talking about Claire Foy.
Thank you, because
that's season 2 of that. Season 2 of that show will move a person's pants. Jesus Christ! The stuff with her sister, Vanessa Kirby. And Ozymandias from the Watchmen movie. Jiminy Christmas, call the cops.
I don't know what show you're talking. The Crown. Is
Season
she
2.
But is that
I think she probably had intestinal worms while because she was on the first 2 seasons of that show. I'm putting this together. I'm not using the device. I'm using my brain. She claims to have had intestinal worms since the time of filming The Crown. And that's why she had to stop having caffeine, according to an article I read on the show last week. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bad at dates. And it used to be easier when shows always came out in September of a given year. It's hard to know, like, how long ago was that? I thought she said 5 years. Is Claire Foy a liar?
That's why my brain
it doesn't
broke
really
for
add
a second. Up. I'm like, wait, The Crown. What
I think she might have dropped a half decade.
What was that? Oh, she snelled it. Ooh.
Yeah. Dropping decades. Jason and I are going to do a buddy cop rap song called "Dropping Decades."
Anyway, Edgar Wright is thanked in.
But you don't hate him.
No, I love him.
The way you started one of your sentences, you were like, I realized I have to separate the artist from. I was like, whoa. Like, is he a Sunni or something?
No. I find that the directors who
Sunni thinks this Me Too thing has gone too far. You see that?
Yes.
Woody Allen's wife. She's really frustrated about all the guys getting canceled.
You know what?
Her stepfather and husband.
Their takes.
For adoptive father and adoptive husband.
Everyone's
adoptive husband.
Their takes. Was that in the New York Times? Because
it's probably Google News, or it might have been Apple News.
You know what? I'm not informed enough. I should have known about the worms. I need to know about the.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take you off your thing. I did want to say that season 2 of The Crown, if I could be aroused at this point in my life, it would do it. Because I have a massive thing for Vanessa Kirby. There are elements to her entire physicality and carriage that just ring a lot of my bells. And honestly, over half of them are just on her face. Vanessa Kirby's face is very absorbing to me. Very absorbing to me. And with that said, the little chin butt that Claire Foy's got. Now, I don't know if that's because of the worm. I think it's probably genetics. That little chin, you know what I'm talking about? Like, especially in the second season where she's lit a certain way and she looks a little older, you get a better. Well, you know what? Season 1, I take it back, has great chin butt also.
I have to say, season 2 has way more close-ups because I think so. It's like, okay, we've established the worlds, and there's not a huge time jump.
Great Tommy Lassell stuff too. A lot of good
Lassells.
Lots of her just like sitting at a desk looking sad, which is kind of my love language. If it's not Vanessa Kirby's character throwing a shoe. It's funny how many times, notice if you're going to go back for a 5th rewatch of all of The Crown, which obviously everyone should probably be doing. It's like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. You're never done painting the Golden Gate Bridge. Like there's more than a year's worth of person hours on the bridge, such that the way people put it is like you're repainting the Golden Gate Bridge while you're still painting the Golden Gate. It never ends. And that's Princess Margaret and throwing shoes. She's always throwing shoes. And sometimes she's taking them off. Other times it's for a reason. There's a wonderful interview on Graham Norton where they talk to, who's that lady that used to be with Tim Burton that's in Room with a View. What's her name? 3 names? Oh,
and Seven Dials. Helen Babamba
Carter says she realized apparently she's talked to Princess Margaret at some point, but what she figured out was for her version, that would be season 3, season 4, is that the cigarette holder is always deployed as a weapon. But you see that in Vanessa Kirby, even in season 2. She's using cigarettes as weapons. It's very Ricky Jay shit. But anyway, they all throw their shoes. Title. Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
They all throw their shoes, Alex. They all throw their shoes.
Lin-Manuel Miranda threw a shoe at not Ryan Johnson. See, this was all going to be a Ryan Johnson story, but Lin-Manuel Miranda threw a shoe at Andrew Garfield's because he was like, I can't sing, I can't star in Tick Tick Boom. I'm Andrew Garfield. I can't do it. And then he heard him sing, and he was like, oh man. And Lin-Manuel Miranda then threw a shoe.
Was it a shoe he was wearing or just a shoe he was carrying?
He took it. He took
off when he was wearing. So then he just had one shoe left.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy, but he probably should think ahead more. Bring a shoe if you're going to throw. Now there's a rich history of this. Now then you go back, and this is before your time. Well, you were quite young, I think, but when the Gulf War was happening, one of our Gulf Wars, the one where we were going to kill that guy because of him going after the fella's daddy. A fella, did you ever see this? A fella at a press conference took off his shoe and threw it at George W. Bush while he was standing at a lectern. Have you ever seen this?
I thought this was a 9/11.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I'm not a huge fan of George W. Bush. I'm going to be honest with you. But this fella, this guy fucking goes off and he just throws a fast shoe right at the president. And George W. Bush does the most neo shit. He just goes zoop. He just moves a little bit and the shoe goes by. It completely misses him, and it should have completely hit him in the head. But he looks really cool doing it in a way that I think a lot of presidents would like to look cool.
You dropped a decade. This happened December 14th, 2008.
Was it that late?
Yeah, because
I thought it would have to be 2003 or 4.
It was one of the classic gifts, and it was
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be remembering it wrong, but I mean, like, there's a lot of things where, like, you call them gifts, but like you know, the terrible moment. I feel bad for the guy, you know, in some ways, but he's not a super bright guy. Looks a lot better now in some ways, but shut up, email Alex. But when he's reading My Pal the Goat or whatever, and the guy's like, no, there's a second plane. Like, okay, we really got to bounce right now. The look on his face, like, you know, that's tough. I would look equally stupid in that situation. With that said, you owe it to our president to go back and watch him not get hit by a shoe.
Mm-hmm. That's probably
they all throw their shoes. And then you got Nikita Khrushchev. He's meeting with John F. Kennedy circa 1960, I believe. And they start having this famous argument. I think they called it the kitchen counter debate or something. But they start arguing about the virtues of Soviet socialism, you know, the Soviet-based communism, which differs from Maoism. Read a book. And because they wanted to do a more international proletariat, you understand? It's not just about making steel in your backyard. I'm almost done. And then, but there's one time when Nikita Khrushchev, he and it became a funny bit, is he took off his shoe. I think it was at the UN or similar. He was at some kind of big meeting, like you'd see parodied in a Zack Snyder movie, and he banged his shoe on the table where he was sitting because he didn't feel like he was being heard.
Oh, this is a real thing that happens.
They all throw their shoes, Alex.
Those people always throw their shoes.
Merlin, stop trying to make they all throw their shoes happen. It's not. It's not funny. It's not even a joke.
The untrue things.
So what happened? Where do we start? You came in. You came in hot.
I did.
You did your funny opening. Oh, did you want to do the challenge?
We should. I think so.
As QED earlier, sorry, you guys, we talked a little bit of Orlando. Oh, did you want to just quickly then draw a line under it? Give your quick thoughts on Orlando?
Okay. Lost treasure. What the heck?
No kidding. You got to be in the right mood, though. You know, it's one of those ones where, like, seeing that in '92 stuck in a theater made it even better because not only is it magical, but you can't really leave. And like it's not really a movie made to be watched the way people watch movies today, I think.
Right. But I wanted to yes, which I did because I think that the cover art or at least that purple that I saw most places that I mentioned I
saw like her in bed with her arm extended or something like that.
Yeah, and it just sets I think there's two. One she's standing in the field and one she's in the bed, but they're both purple. And it's like, okay, it's gonna be one of those movies. It absolutely is one of those movies.
It's an art house movie for sure.
Delivers.
Yeah.
But it's funny too.
Oh, I thought so too. It's like I've never read the book. But like it's got I don't know, it's got that nice combination. It feels kind of queer. In a lot of ways. And
kind of? Oh boy.
Well, I mean, you know.
That's why you wanted me to watch
it. That is part of it. No, but I'm not trying to be cute. But what I'm saying is that, like, we didn't used to. I still don't have the vocabulary to talk about other people that I wish I had. And because, like, part of it is, like, yeah, I do push back on neologisms that don't help anybody. And I never want to be hurtful. But, like, way more important than that, from a factual standpoint, is I just don't know a lot of stuff. I just don't know. And so imagine what that was like in 1992 for just regular people who go to movies. You know what I mean? The whole, like, how you present and stuff like that, you know, or that was not something people outside of very specific communities ever talked about back then. Mm-hmm. You were gay or you were not. Or, yeah, you could quote, have a sex change. But I mean, yeah, we'd heard of bi people, but, like, you know, generally it was like, yeah, the big thing was, though, gay and lesbian rights, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's such a queer text in so many ways. It's like reading Saracine by Balzac, upon which SZ by Barthes is based. Oh, fuck you. You should read Saracine. Or maybe, you know what, even better, you should go straight to the head fuck of SZ by Barthes, which is his, like, semiotic disassembly of this amazing Balzac novel about an obviously, like, non-gender, hardly anything person. But I don't even know the right term for it, but one of those, like, well, you know, Kessler and McKenna deals were like, what if there were 17 genders? How would that bend your brain? Kessler and McKenna kind of deals. That is my life. Description. Yeah. Kessler and McKenna kind of deal.
I think
I read a book of theirs for a class. I took in 1988 called Gender Studies that I love.
Yes.
With Dr. Charlene Levy. And we read that book, Kessler McKenna's, what is the title of it? It's in my Zotero. I think it's the ethno-methodological approach to gender. And it asked a question that I found quite provocative in 1988, which is, what would it look like if there weren't actually just two genders? Mm-hmm. And just leave that on the table for this. We haven't even defined what that means yet, but let's just for the sake, it's almost like a bar bet, the meanest bar bet in the world title, the meanest bar bet in the world. What if, for the sake of argument, I could demonstrate to you with physical evidence, let alone anecdotes in people's entire fucking life? What if I could show you all kinds of ways that even from a physical standpoint, there is not a binary to this? And don't just say Jamie Lee Curtis, because I know you're all thinking Jamie Lee Curtis, but because I'm always thinking Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, now. Oh, wow.
Well, no, you know, there's a word that described Jamie Lee Curtis. There's
Hot?
an H word. Yes. Yeah. Maybe she'd be called a his-maphrodite. Has anyone ever said that? Because that's kind of funny.
Oh, that's really funny. I do not think.
Theymaphrodite. Somebody's got a new nickname. Theymaphrodite. Or they may not. If that's too soon, you can leave it a minute and a half.
It's changed over the years.
What if, for the sake of argument, just for the sake of argument, we say, what if I could give you evidence that there's not actually literally just always two genders, one or the other? That was the question. That was the very provocative question that they very lightly asked in the ethno-methodological approach to gender by Kessler and McKenna, which is fair. I think it was like a year old at the time.
Did I not tell you I read this book because you talked about it a lot?
I bought Gender Trouble because of you. I still haven't read it. I bought an actual perfect bound beautiful copy of it, and I haven't read it yet. There's so many introductions. I felt like I had to in the updates, and then the new update to the introduction update.
Yes.
It's like, Jimmy.
Well, that's what I really love about Judith Butler is their ability to be like, yeah, our feelings about this have changed. I was probably wrong about that, and doesn't make a big deal about it.
Does Judith Butler also speak in first person plural?
God damn it.
Is that part of the deal?
They go back and forth.
Got to keep you Masha guessing. Am I right? Keep you guessing is similar now. Now Masha guessing is M guessing. I'm guessing that's their name now. You ever seen Duck Soup? It's a movie from 1933 starring the Marx Brothers and the great Margaret Dumont. You were saying?
Before people yelled at you for using LLMs, I had mine named Them Dash, and I was just really proud of it.
Oh, that's funny. You know, that is funny. I love wordplay when it is really just like right there. The kind of puns that, like, the dad joke puns are meta funny in their way, but the ones that actually make me laugh are things like his Maphrodite.
It's very good.
Theymaphrodite is the dumbest thing anyone has ever said. That's not funny. That's not even a joke.
Here's the you touched on an issue.
I'm sorry. It was a different time.
And Judith Butler says that, which is, but does not apologize, because it's like, yeah, it was a different time. It was weird because sometimes how we talked, like, about women, how we talked about ourselves. Like,
and this is the problem with assuming we're the only people that are generally doing our best. It's only I, or as you say, we. It's only me, the person speaking, that has ever done things for the right reasons. Everybody else is either stupid, ignorant, malicious, or arguably not me.
Which is why, if folks haven't read Gender Trouble, it's a very short book. It's very dense.
All right, geez.
And if you're not no. If
you haven't read this, you're stupid. If you bought it, you're a poser. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not talking to you. I'm ignoring Merlin. Their newest book, Gender Trouble. explores why currently, especially the West, has this new hyperfixation on gender, but does not call anybody stupid or go at it in a bad faith gotcha way. And it explores gender, it not itself. The book is actually like, okay, how did we get here? Like, why are we weird about it again? Like, way weirder. And it's really refreshing.
It doesn't make you early 90s, something like that?
No, like 5 years ago, less than 5 years ago.
Oh, really? It's that recent?
Yeah.
And what had they been known for before that?
Gender Trouble was the like definitive text. Like Judith Butler had some.
That's the one that got a lot of people talking.
Yeah, it still is like the big they of gender books, but the newest, I mean, Judith Butler was like, yeah, why are we weird about it, basically, but not calling people weird or
right. That's the way you bring up a topic, and I try so hard to present things that way. That sometimes in order to get people to think about how they are, it sounds like a trick, and maybe it is. In order to get people to think about how they are, it really helps to talk about how we are. But sometimes talking about how we are necessarily begins talking about how I am. So in order to get to a point where you could talk about things in a way that doesn't sound like either it's accusatory or about everything being everything, it sometimes helps to say, I find myself doing funny things to try and make myself more productive. And some of them are incredibly useful and other ones are harmful and time wasting. And I still don't really know the difference. I wonder if anyone else is like that. Instead of saying you all are fucking idiots for reading life hacks blogs, I'm saying a true thing, but hopefully, you know what I mean? Like it's so different from like it's a very subtle point you're making that they are not. Did Judith Butler used to be she? Or I
believe so.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure.
So they're bringing up this point. I'm like, boy, isn't it kind of crazy how we all get about this stuff? You know, and like I said to Roderick on Monday, the thing that's really weird about weird people, to people who aren't weird, is not that they're weird, but that the weird people are weird in their own weird way, which normal people have trouble understanding. They think people are weird because they aren't on the face of it, especially, say, I won't say dumb people, say, oh, well, other people who act weird are because they're not like me. QED. But I think the thing this is in the context of talking about my beloved David Letterman. And I said, I think what was interesting and potentially confounding about him, people couldn't figure out what to do with David Letterman because he was weird in his own weird way, which was part of his appeal. David Letterman had been weird in somebody else's way, he wouldn't have been David Letterman. And we're all weird about gender, but we're not comfortable talking about it because of the very reason we're discussing it now. It's a third rail. Or I guess this is the second rail if you can only have a binary.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
I try and narrate whatever I can.
I'm sure I've told
I should sleep less. I should spend more time. You know what? I should buy fewer tokens, and then I'd have to stay up later instead of saying, "You guys go work on this." Oh, by the way, I also have a command now that automatically puts everything in the background automatically. I never have to watch it read the paper, as I call it.
Okay.
No, that's a thing in my jargon file. Reading the paper.
Reading, and I'm trying to.
I'll use it in a full sentence. I'll use it in a full sentence using three pieces.
Do it again.
3 pieces of jargon that are in my official file. Just a reminder. Dead drop. The Queen. I'm the fucking Queen. That's a what's called a big words phrase that it recognizes. The Queen does not watch Tommy Lascelles read the paper. Dead drop. Dead drop. Log this. Compact.
So when it's reading the paper, is it creating a summary
bash
of like
this greater than 2? Look, first of all, it was such a struggle to get it to remember it can just do stuff. But then the other thing is just like this has been fucking huge, Alex. Because you know sometimes you'll see at the bottom one bash agent running or diddly-dee thing at the bottom. Well, it forgets, of course, but now it knows it's in its Claude file. Like, anything that you can do, like if you need me, ask questions, but otherwise go away and work on that and don't, because like I got it into this thing where I call Little Wizard. That's another one of my big words. Little Wizard means give this to me in 5 bullets and I'll tell you the bullets I want. Like, I don't even want, I
Okay.
just want to hit the most minimal number of keys. You know what I'm saying?
It
But
should be
then-
called Merlin Jr., but okay.
Merlin Jr., Little Merlin.
It was right there, Little Wizard. Okay, sorry.
Oh, because of my name. You know what's funny? I don't realize jokes about my name sometimes.
That's a gift. That must have taken a while.
Yeah, it
Good
is.
for
It is. But there's a lot of things I've eventually learned not to be that worried about. But what was I talking about?
Your little wizard, the bash
but then
commander now
I'm
running
doing
in
the thing. I
background.
say, okay, what's up next? And it goes, I could do this or this or this. I commit these, and I'm like, okay, do all the things that you can do on your own. Again, please just go do that. And then it'll be like, diddly diddly dee. Here's these 5 things, and then I have to watch it go bash this, bash that, ls, go by, and suddenly I can't see what I'm answering questions about, and it has no way to fix this. So first of all, you know what? I'm going to stop talking, but I would love to share some of this with you because stuff like getting it even outside of the claw.app, even in terminal, I've gotten it to way reduce the amount of all kinds of shit it shows me, but also to like automatically background or create agents for stuff that I don't need.
Isn't that fun?
Like, do you need me for this one? You know?
It's so...
No, but I mean, to have that just happen, it really changes the experience. Because I'm like, look, this place where the typing happens belongs to me. Like, the Queen does not watch Tommy Lascelles read the paper. Tommy Lascelles goes and does, and watch The Crown, you guys. It's a really good show. But like, Tommy Lascelles uses his incredibly precious seconds of time with the Queen to say, can I take care of an awesome thing for you? He doesn't walk in and like, just kind of like hang out and like, you know, help himself to some mints and ask, what do you want to do today? It's like, no, your job is to take care of all that shit when you're not with me. I don't want to watch you do your job. That's why I hired you. While I would never in a million years say that to another person, that's the relationship that I'm very happy to have with the computer. I mean, I'll continue to communicate well with the computer, even if people find it strange. But like, I don't want.
There's a difference between communication and kindness,
Well,
and I don't.
it can be, and I think another one of the topics we can't really discuss is, but I'm becoming more comfortable about. Another one of the topics we can't really discuss is, well, the thing is, again, if you use this less than I do, okay, maybe it's not a big deal. But given how much I use this stuff, if I acted like anybody besides myself, I'd be acting like a person I don't want to become. So I will continue to act the way that I am, even when I'm talking to a machine, because whatever muscle you exercise will develop. And if that muscle is becoming an impatient asshole for several hours a day, conservatively, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my humanity, like worrying what the internet thinks of my personality.
That's what I've kind of accepted, that like, do I really want to care how people think about the way I talk to my ball of math?
It's starting to feel. I'm starting to feel a little less fretful about it, and not in a mean way, but in a sense of like, no, it's just like it would be like being mad about arguments you had with somebody in 3rd grade, where you're like, well, that's not really beneficial for me to keep revisiting, and I feel oddly free to just put that down.
I also, people thought it was weird when we thanked Alexas, and I like having thank you as a reflex, not as a meaningless
totally agree.
gesture, as how are you?
Not even as a joke about the bots in the future and, you know, Skynet or whatever, but no, just like what I said before goes for now. When I say thank you to people, I'm not doing that to get anything from them. I'm doing that because that's who I want to be. And I don't know, am I supposed to feel more shame about acting like that when it's not a person around? I mean, that's like criticizing somebody for, you know, only masturbating in private.
No, God.
Is it like that? Is it like that? What would Judith Butler think? What do we think? Here's some other ones I wrote down while I was watching Marty Supreme with my family last night. And you know, his character's so interesting. As I imagine we'll talk about, but he's so. This is a really, really controversial statement. I'm a big fan of the Safdie brothers, and I think that their movies are special. and they're special in their own special way, like David Letterman. But boy, if you were to describe the premise of several Safdie brothers movies, you'd go like, oh yeah, that does sound pretty tense. But would never. It's all pure. All the movies of theirs that I love are just pure implementation. Just so it doesn't get lost, you guys, one of my actual literal favorite movies, one of the most stunning first view experiences I've had in the last 10 years is a movie of, I think his brothers, but a Safdie movie called Good Time with Robert Pattinson and the non-bearded one. And Good Time is one of the most accomplished movies I've seen in a really long time. But like Uncut Gems, which I think they're probably best known for, or The Curse, the TV show, like they understand some shit about some shit. They understand about what makes some people's minds work the way they do. Anyway, in this case, Marty's so relentless, right? And even when I don't completely understand what the goose chase is, I mostly understand what the goose chase is. Like, what is the thing with the dog and Pendulette now? I'm kind of confused. But anyway, it's easy enough to follow. But don't you get that sense of like Marty is just, he cannot be stopped for better or for worse, often for worse. Right?
And it feels like the culmination of most of their work just being, and then when I say their work, I mostly just mean Good Times and Uncut Gems. It really reminded me of Good Time a lot, which is
that sense of like we've got to go get to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. But it doesn't feel like it's all a bunch of like side quests or whatever. It really does feel like this is all part. But what I wrote down was if you keep just working the case will start to crack. And I was thinking about that because there's this thing going on with Savannah Guthrie's mother being gone right now and the difficulty of that. And I was thinking about Marty Supreme, and I was thinking about not cops, but just detective work, more generally, of like if you like tracking down a mystery. And you think about like one thing that happens when you're saying like, okay, we really need to solve this crime, so let's throw some bodies at it. That helps in a lot of ways because you can do a matrix search on the ground. You could do the locking arms thing. That's easier to do with 500 people than with 5 people. There's a lot of different kinds of things like that. But another way to look at it is instead of assuming that this is unsolvable and it's just, what if we assumed that there's a piece of information out there right now that'll take us to eventually to 5 other connections to other pieces of information. And the only way to find out is to keep working the case, like they would on The Wire. We're working the case. But if you work the case long enough, eventually the case will start to crack. And the reason I put it that way is it doesn't mean you'll solve the mystery, but it does mean that it will start to crack. I think that's a really good one. That's one I wrote down as a wisdom. Oh, and then the other one that I wrote based on talking to you, I was being a smart ass with you. What I said was that few things are heavier to carry than other people's water. That's 2 things I wrote down this week.
Sometimes
behave so strangely. See, you just saying the word. Just you saying the fucking word made me hear the song in my head. Isn't that crazy? It's fucking crazy.
No, that's why it's crazy, is that it's not crazy. That's part of why melody also
because of hearing and sounds, when they come together, they sometimes behave so strangely.
And that's why they
sometimes behave so strangely.
This is a Kodak. What was it? A Kodak?
It was a rhyming sound.
See, that's so good.
Well, I beat her batter down with an aluminum bat, and I got. We were gonna do Orlando, and then you said, "Can I say what you said?"
Sure.
Oh yeah, you also sent me the 3D whiskers thing, and you said I am making an official media suggestion. You said this yesterday at 6 a.m. my time. You said I am making an official media suggestion, Marty Supreme. I said, do you want to do that instead of Orlando? I said it's fine by me. I haven't rewatched Orlando, and I think you agreed to that.
Yes. And I've now seen this movie twice, and I love it. I think I love it.
I really didn't think I was going to like it this much.
I thought
I put it on. I put it on. I immediately saw how beautiful and like PTA looking the color saturation was, and I'm like, yes, okay, that's beautiful. But I was like, oh fuck, he's putting shoes on a shelf. This already feels like Oscar bait. It just feels, that kind of like homework movie you get this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. I purposely, not purposely, but the whole ad campaign around it was just kind of exhausting and it annoyed me.
I kept waiting for like a suck come out of the bathtub moment, like where it feels like increasingly you get these movies, or like The Peach in another Timothée Chalamet movie, but you get these, I don't know, they're not all cum based, but you get these things like, oh, is this that movie with X? Like, and if you know The Crying Game, you know what X was in that one. This is a modern version of that, where there's a lot of buzz about some kind of like, usually like a Harvey Weinstein movie. There's some buzz about it, and it's got this hook to it. You know, it's Shakespeare, but modern. It's, you know, blah, da, da, blah. And like, I wasn't sure. And like the campaign with all the bits and the orange and the, like all the bits.
Jackets.
All the bits you do now for that. It really made it feel inconsequential to like where you get to the beginning of the third act of this and you see that he, in 1953, has a standee of himself playing ping pong in his little room. And I was like, oh, fuck me. This movie, it got to places intensely and quickly and assuredly in a way, and honestly made me think Timothée Chalamet is pretty fucking great.
Phenomenal. And part of why I now think the marketing campaign is phenomenal. I still find it incredibly annoying.
If it gets people to go, it's good, right?
Well, the whole, again, the like stupid jackets and like...
Tell me what the stupid jackets means, Alex. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. I saw
exactly one picture of him on a red. I found an article because I'm attracted to the actress Margot Robbie, and it had the top 10. I don't normally spend a lot of time with these, but it was like top 10 red carpet looks from the last year, and one of them was him. And he looked like he was wearing like an orange pleather suit, and he had like a pink table tennis bat in his pocket.
That was one of the top looks.
Does that count though as a dumb jacket?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, not one of. No, it doesn't. I can't. You're like the news guy.
What are the jackets, Alex? What are the jackets that are upsetting you so much?
You see entertainment news, and it was a whole thing. Like Oscar.
Oh, that he would have a different jacket for different appearances.
No, there was just a jacket that said Marty Supreme on it, and it has gone not just viral, but it's one of the fashion things where influencers are buying it for kinds of. It was
like Tim Heidecker. Tim Heidecker was talking about seeing it. The episode of Office Hours with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is fucking incredible. He's talking about how he saw dad. It's like I saw dad at my kid's school. What is that? Was that Balenciaga? It said, and he's like, with his hands, like drawing the letters on his chest. It says Balenciaga Erewhon, and they're like, what? It's like, I guess it's a collaboration. It's just really funny because he's just talking about a father he saw at his kid's school in LA. And he's like, I wouldn't wear a shirt like that around. We're talking about a collabo, right? People love this kind of shit. It's Marty Supreme and Supreme, the store that sells the expensive things. Did they ever do a collabo?
They did not. No, there was.
Did they do one with Ernest Borgnine based upon his award-winning role in the movie Marty?
That would have been really funny. They did do a collaboration with his
wife's name was Tova.
rapper.
Her name was Tova Borgnine. I always thought that was a good name.
That is a really Tova Borgnine. Tova Spencer.
Armitage Shanks. I write down good names.
So I guess then you don't know about the underground rapper who.
Will this be helpful to getting us to talking about Marty Supreme?
It is, because all of this.
Because all you want to talk about was jackets. I ask you what jackets mean, and
jackets mean it's jacket. There was a viral jacket that people were really excited about. It's the kind of stuff that's like Balenciaga Erewhon, where I have no interest.
It's like a Stanley bottle or Visco Girls, that kind of thing,
right? Yeah. And then I'm like,
Visco Girls?
This isn't for me. Yes. Oh, Visco Girls. So old, Merlin. But this stuff.
I don't know what any of this means. It's all phonetic.
Okay. So that's the thing. I'm like,
there's a jacket about Marty Supreme, which is a movie that I watched.
But you and I probably would have seen Marty Supreme anyway. We probably would have done our homework.
Yeah, sure.
We would have done the NH.
I didn't realize it was a Safdie thing until I put it on. Or if I knew it, what I'm saying is if I knew it, I forgot it. No, just in the sense that I'm not trying to like big time you, but like it just wasn't on my. I don't follow stuff like that super carefully. It's more like I go, oh look, there's an Edgar Wright version of The Running Man, and I make a slight mental note of that.
I want that.
You know what's a grower, not a shower? I'll tell you what's a grower, not a shower. A movie I still think about more than I expected at the time I finished watching it was Baby Driver. And at the end of it, when they play the Baby Driver song, it makes me really fucking happy. But just for the opening with John Spencer Blues Explosion, but especially for the credits with Harlem Shuffle, I still think about Baby Driver a lot. And I think Billy secretly likes it, kind of because of the Harlem Shuffle credits scene, which the story of the making of which is just astonishing. But sitting there in the theater, you know what I'm talking about, where the credits for Baby Driver start, and you're like, huh. And then you go, whoa. And you're like, what? And like, what went into
Baby Driver?
What's that?
That I have not seen Baby Driver, but that's
it's not a spoiler because now you already know. But like, there's they have this big, awesome action opening where John Hamm and John Bernthal and the pretty lady rob a bank, and then he's the getaway driver, and they play this John Spencer Blues Explosion song called Bell Bottom. It's really good because it's all about how he has hearing problems, but he listens to his iPod. Again, like Endo. And he, except he didn't lose his house in a bombing in Tokyo.
Just that one difference.
Yeah, it's just it's the little things, right? The little cultural differences, the omakase, if you like. But then they dump the car in this great scene in a garage. They all go in their different ways, and then you hear this bump, 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 which everybody is going to know as the beginning of Jump Around. But the beginning of Jump Around is actually a sample from an amazing song called Harlem Shuffle that was covered pretty badly by the Stones in the 80s. Move to the left, move to the right with the Harlem Shuffle. It's a really beautiful song.
Well, now it's been covered well by Merlin Man. So
as baby's walking down the street, there's just like little subtle things that happen. It actually, if you notice, when he walks out the front door, you'll notice the first instance to our right, the graffiti on the wall. But suddenly, things that are happening in the song are happening where baby's walking. Like not standing, but walking. He's walking down like a city street. And move to the left, and you'll see people around him doing things that are mentioned in the song, or you'll see signs and graffiti that he walks by that refer to the lyric that's happening right now. It's like the ultimate, I don't know if y'all go deep, not deep, but like deeper than normal people on The World's End. If you look at all the numbers in The World's End, the system about the pup, like all the crazy shit that he does in his movies. Every pub in The World's End, you see the number somewhere in that pub. And anyways, I love stuff like that with Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's like, it's not even Easter eggs. Like he knows every single bit of what he's doing, what he's putting where, what's going to get picked up each time.
He wants you to see. Like it's not like
he loves it. He's showing off for his friends. It goes back to Spaced. And the thing that Tony Zhao ends his video about Edgar Wright with, talking about how Edgar Wright does visual comedy better. It ends with, I think, if you know only one scene from Spaced, you probably know the bit where two of the characters get into a fake gunfight with a gang, and they act like they're in a cop movie, slow motion, going poof, poof, poof. Have you ever seen that? That it's from the, and it's like you're just fucking showing off. You're just showing off like how you don't need a budget to be funny or great, and with a budget though, you can do whatever 17 takes of what's this guy's name? Aldrich James Endor. No, what's his name? Who's the kid? Who's the kid that dresses like Han Solo in Baby Driver? What's that kid's name?
Jacob
Elordi. No, it's I can do this. It's not Miles Teller. Kevin Spacey. Oh, that's right. It does have the touch of Spacey. I forgot that. I think that was probably one of those.
God damn.
Elgore Adams. Adams Elgore.
The guy from
Ansel Adams. He's the kid who dresses like Han Solo in the movie. And then there's that girl. Yeah. That girl from the Pam and Pammy Lee and Tom show with Sebastian Stan. Oh, that was a good show. That was a good show. I know she's not happy about what happened with that show. And I respect that, but I thought it was well done. And that girl with the boobs is the waitress in this. Deborah.
The girl with the boob with the waitress. Okay.
Deborah rhymes with zebra. Remember? Because then he's referencing that T-Rex song. You've never seen the movie.
And I have not. No.
I wonder if it's online. I'll see if I can find the beginning of it. What'd you think of Marty Supreme?
Oh, I loved it.
I loved it too, and I even knew how long it was, and I didn't mind. And I was like, oh, I
didn't realize
there's
how long
still so much time for so many things to happen. And oh my God, Mr. Wonderful is so much better than I ever could have imagined. And Pamela Adlon's daughter is my new crush. Jesus Christ, the girl who looks like Maybe. Woof.
Yes.
Apparently she's great on that Rachel Sennett show, Madeline says.
I love her. I love her character. I
love her character. When she drives away at the farm, when she gets behind the wheel.
Oh God.
And she's so cute in her tennis shoes. And she's so pregnant. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What a great movie. I feel good about this movie, Alex.
Hey guys, spoilers kind of sort of, but like every Safdie movie, in my opinion, even if you know everything that happens, like ping pong matches happen, I guess. So we'll see the movie. It's really, really, really good. Oh. I'm telling people that now we are.
Ping pong happens is your spoiler for Marty Supreme?
I'm saying that.
Is it the jackets?
No.
What's happened?
I am saying I'm telling people go watch.
I think what's happening is Alex is saying that they think you would enjoy the movie Marty Supreme and might want to check it out.
Yes. Okay. I'm saying it's like you're worried about.
What are you worried they're worried about?
If you're worried like, oh no, I'm going to be spoiled. Oh. No. If you know that every single beat of the story, that's still not the story of the film. It's the Safdies, man. It's pure implementation.
Yeah. You can't spoil a good movie.
You can't. And
if you can spoil a good movie, it's probably not a good movie.
Because someone's going to tell me this is just Josh.
We were doing so
Safdie.
well, Alex. Let's not get that.
No. I think this is important. It is just Josh Safdie because the reason he's
the one with the beard who seems not quite as nice.
Or not as good of an actor.
It's also their second movie with a hearing impaired person, isn't it? Think about Robert Pattinson's brother, played by Safdie.
I guess so.
Boy, how great is that movie? Jesus Christ!
Hold on, Enzo has that so he can hear. So he can hear English.
I think it's the kind of hearing aid people with profound hearing loss, you could still crank it way the fuck up, and he can hear the translation better. I think.
Oh, I thought he just had a faster, bespoke translation.
Oh my God, the scene we're in spoiler country, right?
Yes.
Spoilers, you guys. I'm not putting the sound in me. The fucking scene with the honey hit me in a way I could never in a million years have predicted.
Holy shit!
In both the complete bizarreness of it coming out the way it did, because we'd already had that one pretty good joke where he's like, I'm going to finish him off in a way Auschwitz couldn't, where it seems like he hates the guy and, his being Jewish. But when he comes back and I let oh my God, and the way the men do it, it's so surreal and funny and touching at the same time in a way that, like, I can't believe they fucking pulled off that shot.
I had like 6 emotions at once.
I know, but don't you agree though that it's like at least 2 very conflicting, which is like, what the fuck? Coming out of this, like, tell him the story. Oh yeah, I used to defuse bombs when I found some honey in a beehive, and then I let my cellmates lick it off me to keep them alive.
Because
it was so sweet and weird and fucked up and like funny.
Yes.
At the same time. And dignified in it at the same time. It makes no sense at all. Did you note the way the old guys were like quivering as they did it? It was so beautifully done. And like a lesser director would have shot it and then cut it out. But they made it work.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
That seems like the kind of thing you'd see on an extra. It's honestly, it's the sort of thing, honestly, that you could see on a DVD extra and go like, yeah, it's probably better they left that out. Like for example, I think people in the Francis Ford Coppola community maybe have mixed feelings about the French Plantation in Apocalypse Now. Where in Apocalypse Now, I don't know if it's even referred to, but in Apocalypse Now Redux, it's completely restored. And there's a whole, there's the set pieces like they go to the Playboy thing. There's set pieces like we go see Harrison Ford, Terminate with Extreme Prejudice. There's set pieces like, a meeting where Kurtz and his people and the skulls are. There's an entire huge, 20-minute set piece about these French people who still lived in, I think, Vietnam, but wherever they were, I think it was Vietnam, still lived there because they were like the Japanese guys in a cave, they were like the last holdouts of like, no, we are French people in Vietnam. And even though it's like 1968, we are not leaving Vietnam. We're going to continue to act like this is some French provincial manor. It's almost like Grey Gardens. It's really fucking funny and weird. And when you see it, you used to be, you see it in the DVD extras and you go like, oh yeah, it's probably better they cut that out. He took like 20 minutes out of the movie. But then if you shot it, you might get really attached to it. If you pulled it off, it takes a lot to be the kind of person where the editor could go, we should probably just, you get a Thelma Schoonmaker saying, we could probably just drop that whole thing.
I've only
she's been Marty's editor since Mean Streets, I think. He's had the same editor since the 70s. She definitely was on Taxi Driver.
The same thing with I think with Scorsese, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry. I think her name's
Thelma Schoonmaker, and she's the editor. Been the editor since at least Taxi Driver, I think.
I thought she was Coppola's editor. They're all
Coppola. Let's see. Gordon Willis is the lighting guy.
Really?
Walter Murch is the sound guy. I don't remember who his famous editor is.
He keeps him a little cage. I don't know why that's...
What? He keeps what in a cage?
Feels like something...
What's he keeping in a cage?
I can just see Francis Ford Coppola being like, what if I just kept all my buddies in a little cage? Which is kind of what he tried to do with his studio. And
are you talking about when he keeps Martin Sheen in a cage?
Yeah, yes, and then...
and Dennis Hopper talks to him about how you can't land on a fraction. But you ever see Deer Hunter? You want to talk about men in a cage? You ever seen Deer Hunter? That's a tough movie to watch. That's a tough fucking movie to watch.
Book to read too.
I don't know about that, but the movie that's very famous and won the Academy Award has some scenes. You do not want to be in a bamboo cage that's mostly underwater, is my feeling, with rats plus rats.
Don't think you want to be in a cage in general. Well, everyone do their own thing.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Dee Dee Mao, Dee Dee Mao, Dee Dee Mao.
We're talking about Marty Supreme.
Yeah, we are. Oh my God, the fucking casting. The people.
This is what I wanted to talk about because when
they get to the farm and Madeline's like, do you know who that is? I'm like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black. She's like, no, you don't recognize? And she's like, I'm pretty sure that's Penn Jillette. And I was like, what? What? Oh, shit, he's good in this. He's so terrifying. He's like an Ed Gein character. Brings his kike face back. Then his pregnant girlfriend drives away. What a fucking movie. Oh, and then they got to bring Dion. They got to bring It's in the Garage. Oh, you're not going to believe the day we had. Poor Dion. Oh, what a movie.
This is my... God. I wrote her name.
And then when the makeup rubs off, oh my God. He had him with a trophy. This is complicated. Known her since he was 8.
No, this is my sister. You got my sister.
You ever seen Gwyneth Paltrow in pure white foundation wear, just standing around? You ever seen that? You ever seen Gwyneth Paltrow just standing around in like foundation wear? But like back when they weren't afraid to make it just purely white and not bone colored. You ever seen that?
Bone colored.
Bone dry.
Well,
that's the problem. If you want really, the sexiest brassieres are the ones that are pure white. Because it's from a different time. Remember when she shows up, she walks into the boys' room and takes it off and she's wearing foundation wear?
Yes, but...
You don't remember that?
I'm trying to distinguish...
I think she's a very attractive woman.
I do.
I think she drinks a lot of water, unlike Florence Pugh.
She puts a lot of eggs in vaginas, but I didn't even think about this until...
That's the sound of your joke landing. Where's my file card?
Well, okay, so Gwyneth Paltrow, she hasn't had... Goop? The reason I mentioned that is because Gwyneth Paltrow isn't exactly known as a very talented, incredibly renowned actress anymore. She has a file card, and
you folks got to go a little easy on Gwyneth Paltrow for reasons that we shouldn't have to talk about.
I think it's pretty cool though that she
wants her privacy about what went down in the 90s, and I respect that. And like I think. I said something to Madeline one time, and I really did not mean this quite in the way that it sounded. But there's that running joke of like, oh, like whatever happened to Katherine Heigl? And what does somebody say? People always say, oh, I heard she's hard to work with. And like, there's just all these actresses in particular where you're like, whatever happened to Annabella Sciorra? And you're like, oh, I don't know. I bet she was hard to work with. Or like, whatever happened to whoever. And it was just a thing that people would say. And I think it was coded a little bit. In the case of Katherine Heigl, it was not coded at all. Sometimes it was just fucking mean. That like she was this demanding diva who didn't realize how good she had it with a TV show. And then she went out and made the movie with the dresses and no one likes her. And I heard she's hard to work with. And Madeline said to me, one time I said, blah, blah, blah. Probably we were watching Grey's actually. And I was like, boy, she's so great on here. I heard she's hard to work with. And she says, you know, that's what they say about a lot of women who were sexually harassed in Hollywood is the line. No, okay, well, she said that to me and I'd never thought of that. You had this information. I didn't. And when she said that to me, I went, holy shit.
I'm agreeing. Yeah. That is not something I realized until college. Like,
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing. And like, yes, Shakespeare in Love, big hit. A watershed moment. It wasn't like Oscar hunting was a new thing that studios have been doing that for at least 10 or 15, 20 years. But what was new about was the way that, what's their company called? What's the Weinstein? What did it used to be called?
Miramax.
Yeah, that Miramax in particular had developed a combination of like really smart insight and really brutal not implementation, but like battlefield plans for like, no, we're getting a fucking Oscar for this movie. We're going to get this Oscar and we're going to get that Oscar. I think Pulp Fiction was one of the first ones where that was really famous, but I think the best known, in my mind anyways, probably Shakespeare in Love. Where like the Oscar campaign for that is apparently like just the stuff of legend. And it's like, no, Gwyneth Paltrow is going to get an Oscar for this and it's going to help the movie and we're going to do this. But the whole time, I'm still Harvey Weinstein. And I don't think there was a time where he was nice for a while.
No. And
even though she may sometimes seem conspicuously absent from certain lists, I think you need to keep in mind she's probably been through some shit, that lady. Even if it turned out mostly okay, I bet she's been through some serious fucking shit.
Wouldn't you rather your file card be I have this wellness company that I believe in versus, oh yeah, I was one of
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like both of us are making slightly different straw men, but like
No, I'm saying that, and the fact that she's cast as this woman who is like supposedly
is the overlap on that? Hey, you know what? Gwyneth Paltrow really didn't have what it takes to drive star vehicles in the same way as even say Sandra Bullock, or especially people like that, as less like conventionally drop dead gorgeous women who are more Lucille Ball like or whatever. Like, oh, whatever happened to Gwyneth Paltrow? She won an Oscar, and then like, how many people ever actually saw Sliding Doors? How many people ever actually saw that movie that Richard Ayoade wrote an entire book about called Up in the Air? Do you know about that? That Richard Ayoade wrote an entire book about a Gwyneth Paltrow movie.
I didn't know it. I didn't know she was in
book about a Gwyneth Paltrow movie called Up in the Air.
Thing.
And seeing him explain it to Olivia Colman on Graham Norton is truly one of the great things. She's so excited to learn about this. And is it okay that I haven't seen the movie? And Richard Ayoade says to her, have you ever seen a movie? And she says, yes. And he says, well, then you've seen this movie. Because if you've seen any movie, you've seen this movie. Gwyneth Paltrow is a woman who wants to become an air hostess. But then you say like, okay, well, how do I make this story make sense? Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow. You know,
doesn't that suck though that I didn't remember that she was the star of that movie despite
Shakespeare in Love?
No, Up in the Air. And
I've never seen it. I've downloaded it, but I've watched the interview with Richard Ayoade, but I've never read the book or seen the movie. I do have a copy of Ayoade on Ayoade, which is his film criticism book about himself that he wrote interviewing himself.
Do you remember the scene where Marty is talking to the guy? He's like, "Hey, yeah, I'll pay for everything," and the guy he's being interviewed, and he makes up that lie about his parents.
Where he's being interviewed by three different English ping pong journalists.
Yeah.
And Madeline and I were both like, "Wait a minute, how big was the English ping pong table tennis beat in 1953 that he was?" He's being interviewed like at least he's like that at least at the level of like, you know, Bobby Fischer or something. It's just weird. Also, through this entire movie, I could not shake the sense that if this could in a just slightly different 616 universe. This could be a Wes Anderson movie starring Jason Schwartzman. So many scenes, right? Just kept thinking, he reminds me so much of Ash in Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then sometimes he reminds me of Max Fisher.
I'm surprised to know that you say that there hasn't been a...
I love that line.
Love that whole...
Remember that Bill Murray says to him about that pretty teacher lady who smokes? She's my Rushmore, Max.
She's another weaponizes cigarette lady. I think she's just really
I wrote a hit play and directed it, so I'm not exactly sweating it either. What'd you think, Mr. Little Jeans? Best play ever, man. I like Rushmore.
It's still my favorite Wes Anderson.
So many faces, the casting, and it's again, like I was saying to Billy, because there was a point in this where I don't know why in my head this movie keeps overlapping with, I guess, watching Nancy Guthrie stuff, but I kept thinking about like that doorbell camera of the masked guy at Nancy Guthrie's house, that horrible video, and I just started thinking about, like I said, Billy, I know you're not a huge, Coen Brothers fan, but I was like, it's so funny once you've watched Fargo, the movie in particular, but really lots of different Coen Brothers things. Like you develop this sense of like just watching ding-a-lings do a terrible job at crime starts to become your new favorite genre. You know what I mean? But there's something well, no, because like in Fargo, the whole thing of like the two of those guys working together, and I need unguent, and like all the ways that they're so, or like the way that for that matter, that Jerry is so feckless and like ineffective at doing crime. Just the way that every part of the crime goes wrong. It's all handled terribly. Steve Buscemi gets shot in the fucking face, like all that stuff, but you develop a sense of that. And in this movie, and as with the Coen Brothers, you look at something like even The Big Lebowski, but especially Miller's Crossing, especially maybe the one with the hula hoop, Hudsucker Proxy. Look at the casting that the Coen Brothers managed to pull together. Of every single person in the movie looks like they're from another decade, sometimes the same decade. But in this movie, everybody in this movie could be... Some of these people look like they are definitely in the 60s. Some people definitely look like they're in like the 30s. The way Tyler, the Creator, looks, that crazy haircut he's got. How memorable is that?
I didn't know he was in it. And
that's Tyler, the Creator, whose music I don't understand. And I've tried. I find his music very confusing. I'm not mad about it, but boy, he was great in this. And you see that hustle coming? The hustle? Oh, the hustling with the table tennis. Oh my God. And all those faces, every one of those kids.
Okay. So
they all look like they were in West Side Story. It was incredible.
Yes. The fucking casting director of this movie, she has done all of the Safdie movies.
No kidding. That explains so much. Think about The Curse. Think about like casting that little girl from The Curse. How important that is. Getting that right.
Do you want me to correct you on how that one was?
No. How?
Okay.
Well, I don't want. I wasn't. You can correct me on anything, but I just mean like they seem to benefit a lot from making interesting choices that turn out well for people that are not conventionally like actory.
She tries to cast as many people who are not professional actors as possible, and just walk around New York looking for people who just had a type of face.
So I wasn't that wrong.
No. And
you're saying I'm actually kind of correct.
You are exactly correct, because the way The Curse was,
the people, like the people who work at the strip mall. Jesus Christ. The jeans place? Oh my God.
That whole, oh my God, it's so
but also just think about, there's several people in this, and whatever, spoilers, but like it is really weird. I vaguely knew that Mr. Wonderful was in this, and I was like, I'm not sure what to expect from that. Is it going to be a jokey
That's part
cameo?
of why I'm like, okay, that's
but
cute.
Like he was really good at this part, but then also like from the minute the movie starts, it feels like Oscar bait. But like the kid who he works with at the shoe store, that kid is such a perfect type for like a character actor who gets, and like, again, in Coen Brothers movies, you also get the benefit of that incredibly crisp dialogue to go with your period character. But no, but ditto here. And like, but oh yes, on the one hand, then you're bringing back people like, what was it, Penn Jillette, but Abel Ferrara, is that guy's name? The guy with the dog.
I don't remember, but yeah,
I think his name's Abel Ferrara, but I think he was an indie guy like in the 80s. But like, isn't he the guy with the dog with the bathtub? How insane was the bathtub scene? Don't use the shower. You can't. You can't use the shower. Is what he said. You can't use the.
It's like, no, you didn't. You rented me the room. You rented just.
And when he stabs the waiter, oh my God, what a fucking movie! Relentless. It does make me kind of want to watch Good Time for like a fifth time.
I watched that when I texted you at 6 a.m. I lost track of time. Not blackout.
Remember when Benny's sitting there in the office with the doctor, with the audiologist, and his brother comes in?
So good. But I had watched Marty Supreme.
They got to go and find the acid at the funhouse. They got to break back in and get the acid from the funhouse. Oh my God, that movie. Pitiless.
I'm interrupting Merlin because I want to recommend any movie that Jennifer Venditti has done casting for, because she is a documentarian.
That people would know?
Yes. All the A24 movies, most recently Begonia.
All the A24 movies, that's a lot of movies.
Is there
a specific title or two from the last 5 years you can mention that people would know? Begonia.
All of the Curse episodes, but Uncut Gems. I don't want to say obviously.
Oh man, that's a hell of a movie. That is a tense fucking movie.
And but she made a documentary in 2007, which is how she was sort of discovered by. Because the Safdies,
Will you find that for notes, please?
Yeah.
Notes.
Yes. It's already in my notes, but it's called Billy the Kid, and it is, I think, now one of my favorite documentaries. And I don't know if you know, Merlin, but I kind of have a hyperfixation on how people are cast, not just in movies, but on reality TV shows, on panel shows like Taskmaster, and especially how you find a good documentary subject. And the Safdie brothers, I think, aren't just great directors.
The thing is, you might be surprised how many movies they've made. Like if you go to their Letterboxd, like they've made a lot of short things that are very ambitious.
Yeah. And I think that the phrase that Disney said, like, we don't make movies to make money. We make money to make.
According to John Gruber, Walt Disney once says, "We don't make movies to make money. We make money so that we can make more movies."
Yeah, I think that's kind of overused when people say that's why they do something. Especially because it's not true a lot of the time. Yeah, I think that is true of
watching enough Disney documentaries. You put a lot of stuff together.
Yes. If you've watched enough Defunctland, I feel like you're starting to be...
Watched one that was an hour long last night.
Only an hour? Was that in...
It's a symphonic history of Epcot, where he's put together an entire...
Isn't that insane?
It's hard to describe why it's insane until you... Like, that's all original music. That fucking music is all original.
Yes.
Let alone the motion graphics, let alone all the ways of making things. I don't think that all of those charts appeared the way they appeared in the 1980s. I think they made all of that and made it look real. And it's just astonishing. And you loved his thing on the Living People one. What's that called? He did a very long one that's really good about what are the broken promises of their...
The broken promises of animatronics. And there's a...
Boy, I want to go on that Winnie the Pooh ride. A dark ride from the early... I was watching a video this morning about the most important amusement park rides of this millennium so far. Yes, I did. I did that this morning. I think that you're a Disney adult, but you don't know it. How would that be useful for anybody, including me, to know? What does that mean to you? I think what you're struggling to say is that you have all these labels, you're not sure what to affix to things. And sometimes if something gets near enough to a label you feel like you have to put it on or it wouldn't be worth storing the labels. No, I think it's very heavy to carry other people's water. I don't think I'm a Disney adult, Alex. What if... I've been to Disneyland. Okay, here's the thing about water. And here's because some people don't drink it. Sounds like a new Malcolm Gladwell book. Mike... That's a classy way out, right? That is. You could just assume the joke was going to be funny.